Here we are in Bolivia, and this is BJ.
Here we are.
BJ, what day is it right now?
It's day 2. It's June 12th.
11th.
It's June 11th.
Tuesday, June 11th.
Yep. And yeah, second day on the trip, first day in Bolivia.
Sweet. So, what all have we done so far?
Well, we've traveled to Chicago and taken a flight from Chicago to Miami, and another flight from Miami to Bolivia. We got through customs and everything. We came to the church where we're staying, and we had some lunch. What did we do after lunch? We took a nap. That was much needed.
A nice 4-hour nap.
Yeah, it was great. And then we went on top of a mountain that overlooks La Paz. We prayed over the city, and we had some really good dinner. And then we're back here getting ready for tomorrow and getting ready to rest.
Sweet. So when we got to Chicago, we ran into some problems.
We got there, and thanks to Chad, we got there an hour earlier than we planned, which was still 3 hours before our flight had to take off. So first we're like, oh, what are we going to do for 3 hours? And then we went to check in, and we came to find out that we didn't have everything we needed. There's just miscommunication. We had to get passport photos in addition to the photos already on our passport. So we broke into 3 taxis, and they all incidentally went in 3 different directions trying to find a CVS to print off these photos. It was really hectic, but it was really good too, because I don't know, in that moment, like, there's a possibility that we weren't going to leave Chicago that day, but I could totally toss reliance in the Lord. I knew there's no way that the Lord had been this faithful in providing us a way this far, just to have us stay in Chicago. So we huddled up and we prayed. I prayed the whole 3 hours we were trying to find those photos in that CVS, but God made us rely on Him, and He is faithful, and I think that's going to continue throughout the whole trip. And then we made it with 5 minutes to spare to get to our flight, which was really cool. Yeah. And we got here.
That was awesome. Very hectic, very fun, very amazing race-esque.
Yeah, amazing race.
Cool. So what's the coolest thing for you so far on this trip?
Coolest thing for me was when we went up to that mountain. I've never seen mountains before, so it was new for me, but they're beautiful, and just showed God's beauty so much, and the beauty that He's created. I don't know, it was like awe-inspiring, but then at the same time, we huddled up and we held hands and prayed over the city that we hope to impact. And I don't know, my spirit yearned to impact it, and I was just really encouraged by it. I have a lot of faith that big things will happen this weekend. It was just a really encouraging experience, and then just to see all the beauty of it as well, it was really cool.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday we did a lot of like hiking and stuff.
What day was yesterday? Hiking?
What? Yesterday was Tuesday, right? No, Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday.
We took a boat.
Yeah.
Wait, did we climb a mountain first?
No, we took a boat to a ferry thing.
An hour and a half boat ride, I think.
Through Lake
You
Titicaca.
could climb on top of the boat if you wanted.
That was pretty cool.
And what was the island we went to?
The Island of the Sun.
The Island of the Sun.
And it was like where the Incan whole civilization, whatever. That was like where it started.
Yeah.
So that was
3
cool.
generations of generations of Incans lived there.
Yes.
And we climbed that mountain.
Yeah, and we saw like the ruins of like the palace where the.
And I drank from the fountain of youth.
And you're not dead yet?
I'm not dead yet.
It was really cool because like there's all these like mountains, and then like the lake was beautiful, and you can see like all the other islands. Like the island of the moon was that the other one.
Yeah. Is that where he kept his wives?
Yeah, that's where the Inca dude, like only women could go there, and like only his wives. That's where he kept like all of his wives and stuff, and like he was the only like male that could go there. And if any like a guy went there, they died.
And then we got back on the boat.
Yeah.
And we took it back to wherever we started.
Copacabana.
Copacabana.
Like the Ray Manilow song, but that's.
And then we climbed another mountain with witch doctors on it.
Yeah.
And there was 14 crosses up along the mountain, and you're supposed to carry a rock to the first one, and then you pick up a rock from the first one and carry it to the next one, and so on. And the bigger the rock, the more like the sins it represented, and it got rid of your sins. And
Really like go up to the witch doctors to like have them like I don't know like put curses on people and like get curses.
We
off
didn't do it
themselves.
though.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
And they like burn like incense and stuff, and they do this
beer
thing
and
where they like shoot beer like in different
They like,
places.
yeah, they have beer and like cigarette
And
sacrifices.
and then do like other sacrifices, and like the first level is where like I went to because I like died. It was really hard, and it's like for like the not as many, and then like the rest of them they went up to like the very top, and they had like the legit like
Yeah.
witch doctors there.
And we took pictures of them, but they didn't know.
And then
Then we climbed back down,
yeah,
and we ate food.
yeah,
and-
we just yeah we ate fish.
And that's it, I think.
Yeah, that's
then we
what
went
we
back
did.
home to the hotel and slept.
Yeah.
Nice hotel.
Is that it? I guess.
Yeah, I think
Anything
so.
to add, BJ?
You know, I think that's good.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego!
Hey,
Hey, I see you, Steven.
hey, look down here.
Get a little muddy, I don't care.
Hey, what's up?
For you.
Hey, get a picture of you, taking a picture of me, taking a picture of you.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
40s.
Hey, Skyler. It's the bathroom. It's the porta john.
Good.
Need to go?
You're covered in mud.
Are they a little bit muddy back there?
What's a little mud too? Take a picture of you. Ow! Take a picture of your nose.
I mean, you can't do
Whatever volume one it is.
You have been chosen.
We're like so happy taking a picture of that hole at the end of the day. You're like, I'm gonna get look at my hole. I was like, oh dear, what do we do stand up to?
Okay, Leonardo.
You can even sit here if you want, Casey, and just move the food.
It was like really far away. And go. What did you do yesterday?
We worked really, really hard.
So yesterday, we went to Altiplano, which is 14,000 feet elevation. And we did a work project there for a shoe shiner named Yvonne. Yvonne. Ivan in English, but Yvonne in Spanish, yeah. And his mother. And basically, we helped him, helped them like start building their house or in addition to their house.
We dug like a hole that was like a meter by a meter, and then it was like 4 feet deep and completely rocks. And
Yeah, that was for a pillar for concrete so that they could add on there. And then the other group of us moved this huge pile of dirt that was on the street. And that took a couple hours. And it was really big. So there was lots of shoveling.
and pickaxing.
Yeah. But the really cool thing was Yvonne and his mother were so grateful. And at lunch, Yvonne shared his testimony with us, and that was super sweet.
And we talked to Yvonne after it was over, and I was beatboxing for him.
That was really great.
Yeah, that's funny.
You should give me an example.
Give you an example.
Yeah. Just like that. Yvonne really liked it. And then, as we were finishing up the day, Skylar talked to this lady, and he doesn't know much Spanish, but he kind of had a little conversation with her, and then Courtney came over and talked to her, and then another group of us came over and talked to her, And she was super sweet, and we knew enough Spanish to communicate with her about Jesus and God, and she was singing to us about Jesus and about how we're all brothers and sisters in Christ, and that was just super, super sweet. So, yeah.
We drove back and ate pizza and passed out.
Pretty much. That's how it went. Peace out.
Day 6 was a Saturday, and we started the day with sore muscles because of the work project the day before. We started the day with breakfast, then most of the team spent a few hours doing a painting project at the church. I didn't get to paint though because I had to prepare for some teaching responsibilities that I had. I think this was one of the first times that our group got to meet some of the Bolivian students that we would end up making friends with later on in the trip. Diego, Valeria, and Liz took us out for some ice cream when we had some downtime after lunch. That afternoon, we got to help lead the Awana program for the church. It was a lot of fun. We got to play a lot of games where we got to run around with the kids, and we did all sorts of crazy stuff. Then we did both of our dramas. We did King of Hearts, which tells about 4 characters who pretend to be someone they're not, but then Jesus comes in and heals their broken hearts. Then we did The Redeemer, which tells the gospel beginning with creation, the fall of humankind into sin, the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ, and his triumph over sin. We also got to share our testimonies. Audrey shared her testimony first, and then BJ got to share his too. We finished off the Awana program by doing a craft with the kids. We made a beaded necklace that showed the full armor of God. The funnest part, of course, was bonding with all the kids afterwards. Right after the Awana program, we went to a public square nearby and did some open-air evangelism. We set up a public address system and began by singing some worship songs. We did both of our dramas again, and Courtney did her testimony after we did King of Hearts, and Sherry did her testimony after The Redeemer. One of the Bolivian pastoral assistants named Mache taught the gospel afterward, but the sound system broke in the middle of it. But overall, it was a really cool experience, and God seemed to be at work. We finished off the night by joining the ILC students for youth group. We played a few games, had worship, I got to teach, and we finished off the night with a giant pizza. The next day was Sunday, and we worshiped at the ILC church in La Paz. ILC was planted by my uncle, Kep James, in the early 90s and has grown since then. I got to preach in the morning, and then we hung out with the ILC youth group that afternoon. We ate together, jumped on an indoor trampoline, played some ping pong and foosball, and just sat around and talked with our new friends. We never could have imagined how well we get along with their youth group. They were such a strong and devoted Christians that they became a huge encouragement to us. Throughout the afternoon, they convinced us to go to Mega Center. We went ice skating on a plasticky, rubbery skating rink and had tons of fun. On Monday, day 8, we began our ministry in Camp Yungas. Camp Yungas is about a 3-hour drive down a winding, mountainous road. At one point, we went through a mountain pass that was 15,000 feet. Kep told us that the record for push-ups there is 60. Adam and BJ tried to beat the record, but failed. By the time we reached Camp Yungas, we had descended from 12,000 feet to 3,000 feet. The climate had changed to that of a jungle, and it was much easier to breathe. Camp Yungas was founded in the early 90s by my uncle as a Christian retreat center. It has cabins, athletic fields, dining halls, and much, much more. We spent days 9 and 10 doing a work project. The jungle had started to overrun the camp, so many of us used machetes to cut back the growth. Other people gathered up what was cut and threw it into piles. There were a few other maintenance projects to be done too. At one point, Adam got stung by a bee, and we discovered a giant bee nest. It was no problem for Lucho, one of the elders at ILC Church. He just used a plastic bag to catch the nest. After a long and hot day clearing back jungle, we decided to go on a river hike up the mountain. We saw lots of banana trees. The water was freezing cold, and some of the obstacles in the river required ropes to get over. But we worked together, and it was an awesome team-building experience. Day 11 was a free day. We were supposed to go whitewater rafting that day, but the river wasn't safe. By that time, the ILC youth group had joined us, So we had a bonfire and cooked hot dogs instead. On days 12 and 13, the ILC youth group partnered with us to do 2 vacation Bible school programs in the Yungas region. On the first day, we went to a nearby village called Picayo and did a VBS at an elementary school. The second day, we held a VBS at Camp Yungas. We played some fun games and sang some familiar Bible songs, but in Spanish. My aunt, Debbie James, did an awesome job sharing the gospel one-on-one. We also did both of our dramas at each program, and 4 people did their testimonies. Skylar and Lene did their testimonies at the Picayo school, while Allison and Adam did theirs at Camp Yungas. The ILC youth group did some funny puppet shows, and we finished each program by doing a craft, wordless gospel bracelets. Another cool ministry we did at the same time as the VBSs was a dental outreach. Diego Kama and some of his friends brought dental equipment with them, set up some chairs, and did some much-needed dental work for free. During the afternoon on Saturday, we had to leave Camp Yungas and head back to La Paz. The 20,000-foot mountains were breathtaking. Our final day in Bolivia was a holiday. It was called San Juan, or the winter solstice. They call it the coldest night of the year. We went to downtown La Paz to do some last-minute shopping for all our loved ones. There was a lot of celebrating and a parade in the street. That night at the ILC church, there was a dinner in recognition of the holiday. Most of the ILC youth group was there, and we had a lot of fun bonding with them. For some reason, everyone wanted to dance. But it was also sad because we had to say goodbye to all the new friends we had made. We took lots of pictures, set off some fireworks. Bolivia was such an amazing place with so many new and amazing experiences. God moved in our lives in powerful ways. We grew in our faith, and we met some amazing people. Though it was sad to leave, it was so worth it. Jesus was honored in our lives. To all of you who prayed for us, encouraged us, and supported us, thank you. Words cannot express how much of a difference it made in our lives.